Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm your host, Robbie, and this is The Unhinged Father. It's a podcast for normal folks looking for some humor, connection, relatability, or those who just like the sound of my sultry voice. A place where we can embrace aiming to be better people, but can accept that we will never get there. And that's okay. We're okay. I'm not some enlightened asshole here to tell you how amazing and perfect my life is, and then convince you to buy my how-to guide on how to make your shit not stink. I'm right here in the mud with you, working towards a better life, extending a hand out along the way. Now let's go ahead and jump into this week's episode. Hey everyone, welcome into the show. Hope you're all having a great day so far. Just a quick, short episode today. Not really a huge agenda, just going to kind of spitball. I have a great episode coming out next week. Had an interview with Meyer Croft from Here for the Dads, Instagram and podcast. And just getting that all squared away, that took up a lot more of my time. It's going to be a little bit of a longer episode, but I'm really excited for y'all to hear it. I think we talk about some great things in it. And actually, in all honesty, I'm recording this the morning that I'm releasing it, which is not very typical, but I wanted to get something out for consistency's sake. I've been really good about getting something out on Wednesday, even if it's not at, 4 a.m. in the morning. Just, I've been getting things out, and I wanted to make sure I got something out today. Let y'all know that I'm not going to have like a full episode out today, but that we've got something good coming next week. And so today, what I really just wanted to touch about is something that's been really at the top of my mind lately is, I don't know, this year has just seemed like it's been a really, really difficult year so far. And I feel like every year that when I get older and older, it's like every year I'm saying that, man, this year was fucking hard. This year was shitty. This year sucked ass. I don't know what it is. It doesn't really matter. It seems like every year since 2019, 2020, which we all know 2020 did suck ass with the pandemic and everything shutting down and us changing completely how we live within society. Maybe that's what sparked it all. But this year just seems like it's been full of so many challenges for me and my family. And I'm just sitting back and reflecting on it. And like I said, I don't know if it's that the years are actually getting harder or if we're coming across more challenges, but my gut instinct is that life just continues to get harder as you get older. You have more responsibilities, you have kids, your kids get older, they have things that they need to do. Everything's really expensive. Life gets more expensive. It doesn't get cheaper until maybe one day you retire and you downsize. But as of right now, we have so many things that we need to pay for, so many things coming up. Kids need to be driven places. You have to pick them up. They get sick. There's just so much going on. And when you're working, it's funny. I work in recruitment, putting people to work. And I used to sit there and think, how can people just not show up at 7:30 and stay till 5:30? Like, what excuses do you have? I'm here. I'm doing this shit. And as I get older and I have kids and I have these responsibilities, I feel so much more empathy towards the people that I used to judge. I'm like, now if someone has to miss an interview because their kid got sick or they don't have childcare, I'm like, fuck, I get it. Because that could happen to me. And me and my wife typically have our shit together most of the time. And not to look down on anyone else, but I'm like, fuck, if it's hard for us and we're blessed, we're privileged in terms of like, we work hard, we have funds, we have family that's able to help us, right? All of these things, like someone who doesn't have that, like a single mom or a single dad or someone who doesn't have the resources that we do, those people are going to run into these challenges. And a lot of times they're met with no empathy, no caring, no compassion, none of that stuff. And it just, for me, it's something that I see a lot more of now, and I'm not shameful. I was in a different point in my life, but I just look back and can't understand why I didn't think like that. And that kind of gets back into this idea of the years just seeming to get harder and harder and having these constant challenges. And I've been doing a pretty good job of just focusing on the good things in my life. The fact that I have two beautiful little boys that are well-mannered, well-behaved, that love us, that like to hang out with us, that have a lot of fun. We have a roof over our heads. We have food on the table. And, at the end of the day, we have a lot of family that's here to help us and take care of us if anything does, go sideways. But me and my wife have always been very resilient. We don't like to rely on other people for things, and we like to be independent and really take care of our own shit. And it's hard for us to let go and to accept the fact that, we can't control everything in this world, and that we can't control certain outcomes, and that eventually someday we may need to rely on the generosity of others in our lives to help us along the way. And that's just a hard pill to swallow for both of us, in all honesty. And I'm not talking for her, but this is just something that we know about each other. And so that's kind of where I'm at. I just wanted to share a little bit of where the mindset's at, and just, this has been a difficult year. It feels like every year I'm always saying like, oh, can't wait for the new year to roll in. We'll go ahead and like restart then. I don't think that's really going to happen, right? There's nothing that's different between December 31st and January 1st of, this upcoming year. But that's just like a mindset shift that people typically will try to put into place. And I guess I'm just putting this out there to be empathetic, to show you guys where I'm at, and to hopefully, encourage you if you're also having a difficult year, if you feel like things are getting harder and harder and that you're never able to like truly catch up in life, that there's always the next thing that's coming around. You just took care of something else, something's got off your plate, but then you have 10 other things that come onto your plate. I'm right there with you. I think a lot of people are right there with you. We do a good job of putting up this facade that everything's fine, that we're doing well, and that there's no issues. And that's fine, because that's what society is. You don't want a bunch of people that are like depressed or fucking anxious all the time, that can't function in a normal society. Right? You have to put a certain facade up when you're out in society, but that doesn't mean that you have to have this facade up all the time. You don't have to constantly have all your shit together. There are people out there who care about you, that want to know what's going on underneath and want to help you process and move through that, so that way you can continue moving forward in life, because life's not slowing down. And maybe that's what I'm really learning, is that life is never going to slow down. Life is just going to continue to get faster and faster. Every year that I'm alive, it seems like the years go by faster and faster. And I'm not sure if that's because I've got more consciousness of it, or just as you get older, the time it really has gone. I feel like it was just yesterday that I was turning 21 in college, and now I'm going to be turning 37. I've got 2 kids, got a wife of 12, 13 years now. Yeah. Life has just been barreling full speed ahead. I don't think that it's ever going to slow down. And so I think the only option that I've got is to try and slow myself down, to realize the good things that I have, relish in them, appreciate them, have gratitude for that, and then just continue to try as best as I possibly can to live a good life, to have good kids, to teach them, to raise them, to have a loving wife, to spend time with my wife, because I don't have forever. I've just got till the end of our lives to create the best life that we possibly can, to create the best legacy that we possibly can. And that's where my mindset's going. But I understand if you're not necessarily there, and this isn't like an episode to like all the other people out there, like just be gratitude and just have gratitude for life and love everyone and realize that you're never going to get these moments back. Those are good things to try to strive towards. And I'm here advocating for those things as well. I think that we should try to move towards that. But at the same time, I also feel the other side of that, right? I also feel the overwhelm and the regret and the shame and just the inability to get out of your own head sometimes. Like there's so many things going on, and to just focus on the one side, the positives, it's not necessarily human. We are full of different emotions constantly. You're going to have the good and the bad. And if you completely shun the bad or the hard, it's not good for you as a person. And so I'm here. I see that everything is going on, not just with me. I used to just think that it was just me, but I'm I'm very confident that there's a lot of you out there that are also struggling. You've got your own shit going on. There's things going on. Even if you feel like you're doing great, you're crushing it, making a ton of money. Your kids are absolutely perfect. They're Ivy League kids already when they're 3 years old. Like, that's great. I'm not here to come down on anyone who feels like their life is going absolutely amazing. That's great. You're at a different point in your life than someone like me right now, or at least how I feel like I'm doing. And I see both sides of it. And I just wanted to make sure that I acknowledge that I'm going through some of this stuff right now. And if you're going through it too, like, I'm right there with you, going through the mud. And I'm going to continue to put out this podcast every week. I might take a little break during the holidays just because it's going to be difficult with, family coming in town and any travel that we may do, all that shit. So, but I'm going to consistently try to put these podcasts out. I really hope that they benefit you in some way, shape, or form. And that, like I said, I'm right there along the road with you, walking through the shit, walking through the muck, trying to strive towards a better life, having a good life, not necessarily a better life, like your life is shit, but just constantly striving to make the life that you have the best that it could possibly be. And that's going to be it for today. Just kind of a short spitball episode. Like I said, I wanted to get something out for consistency. And next week, you'll start seeing clips on Instagram here pretty soon from my conversation with Meyer over here for the dads. I think it's a good one. And I really appreciated him popping on the podcast and talking with me. So that will do it for today. I hope everyone has a good one. That's it for this week's episode. I appreciate y'all being here with me today. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasting needs met. If you feel the show deserves it, leave a 5-star review. It really helps. For more content, follow me on social media. As the show continues to evolve and grow, I have a big ask for all of my Unhinged fans. Each week, I'm going to ask you to share the episode with one person in your life that would relate to or benefit from the message. Click the share episode button and text it to them, email it to them, or send it through social media. Whatever you do, please help spread the word to others. Your support and endorsement is greatly appreciated. In the episode description, you'll find a send me a message button. Use it to suggest topics or share your thoughts on the episode. Just a heads up, I can't see who sent the message or respond in any way, shape, or form. So if you would like a response or you want to be a guest on the show, send me an email at unhinged.father@gmail.com. Thank you for your support. Have a fantastic day. And as always, be good, try hard, do your best.